Good morning, everyone. My name is Grecia Barragán, and today I'm going to talk about the Inuit tribe, one of the indigenous peoples of North America. The Inuit have traditionally lived in the Arctic regions of Alaska, northern Canada, and Greenland. Their culture has been deeply shaped by this environment, so throughout this presentation, I will focus on how they adapted to the Arctic and how their culture continues today. The traditional Inuit homeland stands across a large part of the Arctic. In Canada, the Inuit Nunangat includes 4 regions: the Inuvialuit Settlement Region, Nunavut, Nunavik, and Nunatsiavik. It is important to remember that Inuit are not a completely homogeneous group. Different communities have developed their own languages, traditions, and regional ways of life, while sharing important cultural connections. Language is an important part of Inuit identity. Inuit languages include varieties such as Inuktitut, Inuvialuktun, and Inupiaq. These languages are still spoken today, although their use has been affected by the colonization and the dominance of English. For Inuit communities, protecting and revitalizing their language is very important because language is connected to education, culture, identity, and traditional knowledge. Traditionally, Inuit communities depended mainly on hunting, fishing, and gathering because agriculture was extremely difficult in the Arctic. They hunted animals such as seals and caribou, and depending on the region, they also hunted whales and walruses and caught fish. Animals provided much more than just food. Their skins could be used for clothing, their bones for tools, and their fat for fuel. This relationship with food continues today through what is known as country food. Recent research in Nunavut shows that country food is important not only for nutrition but also for identity, family, culture, and well-being. Inuit housing was also adapted to the Arctic environment. The igloo is probably the better known example, but there is a common misconception that Inuit people permanently lived in igloos. Well, that's not true because snow houses were generally temporary shelters, especially during winter travel and hunting. Depending on the region and season, Inuit communities also use materials such as stone, turf, animal skins, and wood. Their homes demonstrate how Inuit people use their knowledge of the environment and locally available materials to live in extremely challenging conditions. Inuit society depended strongly on family, cooperation, and community relationships. Different members contributed to the survival of the community through activities such as hunting, fishing, preparing food, making clothing, caring for children, and sharing knowledge. Elders were especially important because they helped preserve and transmit knowledge and traditions to younger generations. Children also learned through observation and participation, gradually developing skills needed to live in the Arctic. Inuit beliefs were closely connected to the natural world and to relationships with animals. Animals were not simply viewed as sources of food. Hunting involved knowledge, traditions, stories, and particular ways of understanding relationship between humans and animals. This relationship with animals was part of a broader Inuit worldview in which land, sea, animals, and humans were deeply connected. Finally, it is important to remember that Inuit culture is not only part of history. Inuit communities continue to live throughout the Arctic today. Their languages are still spoken, traditional knowledge continues to be passed between generations, and country food remains important to many communities. At the same time, Inuit communities are adapting to contemporary challenges such as climate change, changing travel conditions, and housing issues. Some recent research shows that Inuit knowledge of weather, water, and sea ice remains highly detailed and continues to help communities to make decisions about travel safety. In conclusion, Inuit history and culture cannot be separated from the Arctic environment. Their language, food, housing, social organization, and beliefs all reflect their deep knowledge of the environment. However, the Inuit culture is not a simply story of survival in the past. It is a living culture that continues to adapt while maintaining important connections to language, knowledge, community, land, and tradition. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot about this interesting and important community.